Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer, because we are unpacking something that affects literally every single one of us. We're talking about that relentless, exhausting daily grind for more. You know exactly the feeling I'm talking about, right? That constant, nagging push to keep climbing, keep achieving, keep acquiring. Well, the provocative reality we're looking at today is that this isn't just human nature or some sign of a killer work ethic. It is actually a biological trap. It's what we call the paradox of evolutionary ambition.
Seriously, think about this for a second. Why is enough never actually enough? Look at your own unyielding ambition. You hit a goal you probably spent years striving for, and instead of just kicking back and resting, you immediately set a higher one. Why do we do that? The wild reality is that you might not be totally in control of that ambition. That burning desire keeping you awake at night, pushing for the next big win. It might actually be a feature of your biology that is actively working against your long-term happiness.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1. Evolution's ambition trick, the biological push for more.
So here's the deal. Evolution doesn't mince words. It is essentially playing a massive trick on us. It forces our hand. We're talking about a built-in biological compulsion that makes us relentlessly seek more, completely regardless of the cost. You aren't just making a cool, logical choice to climb the ladder of success. You're being pushed by an ancient drive that wants you to accumulate, expand, and dominate. It's literally like putting a hamster on a biological wheel, totally convinced the next rotation is the one that's finally going to matter. It's a trick, because it makes you genuinely believe this accumulation will lead to ultimate satisfaction, when in reality, it's just a mechanism to keep you moving.
Evolution compels us to be bigger, stronger, better, richer, more famous, to have more power and control. I want to challenge you right now. How many of these specific things are you personally chasing today? This is the raw biological code running in our background. It's a completely insatiable appetite programmed right into us.
Which brings us to Section 2, justifying our greed and the blind spot of ambition.
Because, in the heat of the moment, we always justify our means of achieving our desires. When that huge promotion is dangling right in front of you, or that massive wealth is just out of reach, you get tunnel vision. We instantly rationalize our actions. We tell ourselves things like working an 80-hour week is just providing for the family, or that totally undercutting a colleague is just how business works. The biological drive for more is so overwhelmingly strong that it creates a psychological blind spot, allowing us to justify almost anything to get what we want right now.
And this creates what we call the ambition split. It's this massive fracture in our lives. On one side, you have our desires, achieving our goals, gaining power, securing control. It's a shiny, totally socially acceptable front. But on the other side, there's the dark reality. These pursuits are actually mired with greed, and they lead directly to compromising what really matters. The stark contrast here is absolutely crucial to understand. We think we are building this amazing legacy, but we're often just driven by an unquenchable greed that completely clouds our judgment.
And honestly, this is where the true cost of the trick is felt. By endlessly chasing this biological illusion, we end up compromising the various things that actually matter later in life. Think about what that really needs: health, deep, meaningful relationships, true peace of mind. The evolutionary trick basically gets you to trade the things that will sustain you in your later years for the fleeting, immediate gratification of being richer or more powerful today. It is a devastating trade-off.
Let's move to Section 3, danger of fast growth, the gravity of success. Let this quote sink in for a second. The faster you gain something, higher the chances of falling down. It's a stark, uncompromising warning. The pure speed of your success is directly tied to the fragility of your position. It is basically a mathematical reality. The velocity of your gain is directly tied to your risk of falling. As the speed at which you gain power or status shoots up, the chance of a catastrophic crash skyrockets right alongside it. It's a system of incredibly precarious balance. The biological trick pushes you to climb faster and faster, while completely ignoring the fact that a rapid ascent automatically increases the probability of a crash.
And that leads us to our final part, Section 4, the price of power, the inevitable descent.
There is an absolutely unavoidable trade-off with power. Becoming richer and more powerful guarantees you get exposed to more opposition and enemies. It's a locked equation. Gaining wealth and control doesn't insulate you like we tend to think it does. It exposes you. Every single step up that ladder makes you a larger, much more visible target to others who, by the way, are being driven by the exact same evolutionary trick.
So, pulling it all together, this is the complete, literal anatomy of the trap. Step 1, you are driven to gain power rapidly. Step 2, in that frantic climb, you justify your greed and compromise the things that actually matter. Step 3, your newfound power and wealth attract fierce opposition and enemies. And finally, Step 4, the combination of a fragile, rapid ascent and increased opposition causes you to fall down. This right here is the complete life cycle of evolutionary ambition.
And listen, evolution has proved this again and again. It's a repeated historical pattern. Think of rapidly expanding empires that just collapse under their own weight, or modern startups that scale way too fast only to completely implode. From apex predators in the wild to human individuals, this cycle of relentless ambition leading to a precipitous fall is a proven, recurring feature of life on Earth.
Which leaves us with one final, undeniable question. If evolution is actively tricking you, pushing you to climb higher, faster, and more ruthlessly, are you actually prepared for the fall? The next time you find yourself wanting to sacrifice what truly matters for just a little bit more, I want you to ask yourself that question. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you next time.